Moana Mackey.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Climate Change Issues and asks, does he agree with reported moves by Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott and Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper to build an alliance with like-minded countries to dismantle carbon pricing initiatives and undermine recent efforts by United States President Barack Obama to reduce greenhouse gas emissions? And if not, will he rule out his government joining such an alliance at any point in the future?
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, I'm aware of conflicting media reports on the existence of such a proposal, but the government has seen nothing to suggest that such an alliance has been proposed.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Moana Mackey.
Will his government lobby his Australian and Canadian counterparts and encourage them to address climate change with urgency, given that the impacts of climate change are already being felt in our own backyard by our Pacific Island neighbours who have consistently called on developed countries, including New Zealand, to do a lot more domestically to reduce emissions?
Speaker.
Honourable
on behalf
Simon
of the Minister, the member misses the point. There is a conflict in the media reports to actually what's going on here. It's a little like we're seeing from the Labour Party this morning, where Tamati Coffee is still continuing to insist that there will be no oil and gas exploration in Taranaki.
Order.
Supplementary
question,
Moana. Oh, my Lord.
Order. Order. I was expecting. Order.
Wasn't what I asked.
I was expecting somebody to acknowledge that the question wasn't even addressed, in which case I'd have invited the member to ask it again.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Moana Mackey.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. If President Obama can make significant progress on climate change despite huge resistance from Congress, why has his government utterly failed to do the same here, given that moves to ensure an effective price on carbon and to stop price gouging by energy companies, thereby reducing costs to businesses and households, would attract overwhelming support in this Parliament?
Honourable Simon Bridges.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, the member is entirely wrong. New Zealand's respected internationally for its climate change efforts, and indeed last week was praised by Barack Obama as a key ally on climate change. We can get our story straight. It's a pit for Tamati Coffee and David Cummins.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Moana Mackey.
Well, does he agree with one of our Pacific Island neighbours, Marshall Islands Vice President Tony de Bruym, at last year's Pacific Islands Forum, that New Zealand should be doing far more than we are currently doing, that our 5% reduction target is, quote, a joke? And if not, what action will he take to meet John Key's pledge signed at that forum that New Zealand would do more domestically to address climate change?
Honourable
Speaker,
Simon
on behalf
Bridges.
of the Minister, we do our fair share. We're the only country to have an ETS outside of the European Union. We're the only one that is comprehensive with our ETS, including all gases. We show real leadership internationally where we've got a comparative advantage, and domestically, of course, we also do a lot. I think of the things that I'm doing as Minister of Energy and Resources with ECA and our wider energy emission profile. There is a lot that's going on. The member should maybe read some more of my press releases.
That concludes questions for oral answer. Would some honourable member care to move that the House takes note of miscellaneous business?
Is it me or him?
Order. No, order. The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker. Well, Mr Speaker, in an effort